had some like pre doubts. Trying to, I have some doubts about, or not doubts. I have some questions and concerns about Mayhem, the Lady Gaga album that's coming out on Friday. The new Lady Gaga album. Now she's kind of clearing it up in like little snippets that I've been hearing about the difference in Mayhem because to me it just comes off as yet again this sort of dark continuation. Like, I'm not understanding why it has to be so dark all the time, and I'm not understanding why what I really thought was this next album. It was so clear during the tour and in like certain interviews how she like was healing herself of the fame and really stepping into her own, really stepping into who she actually is. N- In a sense, I would guess, like even like I've said this before, Chromatica was very confusing because she was coming off of the back of Joanne, and the whole purpose of Joanne was for her to sort of heal her father, and with this song, with this album, and the song, and the type of men that she would date, and yada yada yada. And so in between Joanne and Chromatica, there was A Star Is Born, and there was Enigma, and I was just very confused how she was just like, I didn't want to be a superstar anymore. I'm, I just didn't want the fame anymore. But it's just like, okay, but you've been doing Enigma, and then the jazz shows, and then you just won an Oscar for A Star Is Born. And Shallow. Shallow was like a huge song, and whenever it came out, it was just things weren't adding up, and so to me, the last authentic Gaga that we possibly had was during Joanne, because I'm just like, what are you talking about? And so skip to now we have Enigma. I mean, skip to now we have Mayhem. And it was clear, like I said, it was clear during the Chromatica tour. She was talking about how she was healing herself and really putting the pieces together, and music is her life. Like, sort of the certain themes that we've kind of already known. But I guess she just had to make it clearer. And so it was just, what am I trying to say? So we have Chromatica. And in that Chromatica tour, she seemed like she was in a happier space, a happier place. And I'm thinking we're gonna get everybody wonder why Gaga ain't crying no more. Shout out to Mary J. Blige if you know what that reference. Um, this whole like, when Mary married Can Do, and Gaga's like in this different space in her life. And so the whole darkness of May, I guess that's just like the aesthetic, but like the whole darkness of Mayhem is just so confusing, and it just seems so repetitive. And my ending question is she having a hard time making, is she having a hard time getting out of this character, or having a hard time removing herself from this darkness, or removing herself from this character? Yeah, I think that's all I have. That's my question. Is she having a hard time removing herself from this character, because it's so confusing why we're still in this dark era in a sense. Or maybe she's saying that the darkness is like I think I'm just sick of like looking at the dark era, like the whole like sadness of Chromatica that she displayed. I don't really at the end of I really don't know if I really believe this, but after watching it so many times, watching that Zayn interview, listening to the music, watching going to the show, watching the show, I'm just like, is she being serious again? Is she being really serious with this right now? And I don't want to do that because I really enjoy her music. I really enjoy her. But I'm just like, this character that she keeps playing, when is she going to stop playing it? But, anyways, um, I'm going to check back in probably in like next week or Friday, whenever the album comes out and I get a chance to digest it. But I'm just like, and then also like I'm sort of revisiting this music, like the fame monster that made her very popular, made her very different. Revisiting this sound, I'm just like, I hope she's not revisiting this sound just to please fans. I would find that so crazy. Like it just doesn't make sense. And then I was looking at the lyric. I mean, not the lyrics. The song titles, and I'm like, the song titles are very dark. They're very weird. And I'm just like, okay, I get a person being weird, but I'm just like, here we go with this like possible character again. But I'm just like, I hope she's really not trying to force like these. The song titles really do look forced. Okay, you know what else? What else bothers me very much? When her father said, I don't know who her father was talking to, but it was last year. Her father made like a statement to somebody and was like, "Yeah, they go into the studio, they make an album for a couple of months, and then they come out and yada yada yada." I was just like, this kind of felt. I don't. We don't possibly know when like how long she's really been making the album, but it was very clear at some point she was making the album, and it was very clear. Like I really don't think it's been one of those long processes that she's had before. And I'm just like, I hope yet again, I hope this album is really good. Every nowadays you get really nervous with your favorite artist puts out. Well, I do at least. I get very nervous when an artist that I really enjoy puts out a new body of work because I'm just like, oh my god, is it gonna be receptive? Is it gonna be good? Are the lyrics gonna be good? Are we repeating beats? Like when she was in Paris, or yeah, when she was in Paris and she had like let the fans out there listen to some of the songs. One one beat sounded very reminiscent of "Do What You Want," and I'm like, oh god, here we go. So I'm just like, oh Jesus. So at this point, you go into the studio, and you're making music, and it's like at a certain pressure and a certain time limit, and then you just put it out, and you're just like, okay, I don't know.